All right, guys, let's review these questions here in the word problems part 2 assignment. So the first question says at the beginning of the day, the temperature was 21.2 degrees Celsius. By lunchtime, it was 24.3. How much did the temperature change? So since we're looking at change, we're kind of trying to find the difference in it. So we're gonna have to subtract them. So I'm just gonna call this one 24 and this one 21 to start with. So 24 minus 21. Well, I know 24. I know the 4 minus 1 would give me 3, and 20 minus 20 is just 20. So I think our answer is going to be somewhere around 3 degrees Celsius. So now if I do the exact answer, I'm going to say 24.3 minus 21.2. Looking at the tenths place, we have 3 minus 2, which is 1. 4 minus 1, now that's 3. And then 20 minus 20 is 0. So the temperature changed by 3.1 degrees Celsius. I'm just going to say the temp changed by 3.1 degrees Celsius. Next question says that Henry and Julia practiced a lot for high jump. Henry practiced for 324.2 minutes, while Julia practiced for 217.8 minutes. How many minutes did they practice combined? So since it's combined, looks like it must be an adding one. I want to know what they are put together. So just to start with, 324 is pretty close to 300. It's a little bit above it, but I'm going to say it's close to 300. And 217 is pretty close to 200. So I know my answer is going to be 500. It's actually going to be a bit more than 500, but somewhere around 500 minutes. So let's do the exact answer now. So I'm going to stack them like this. 324.2. I'm going to add 217.8. And I'm going to start with the tenths. So 2 plus 8 is 10. So I'm going to put the 0 here. I'm going to carry the 1 over to the ones place. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. So I'm going to put the 2 here. And that 10 is going to go to the tens place. Then 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 plus 10 is 40. And then 300 plus 200 is 500. So 542. My estimate was 500. Not too bad. A little bit off, but not too bad. So combined, they practiced 542 minutes. I'm going to go a little off the page here, but that's okay. Minutes. Okay, let's do the 3 on the back. They get a little harder as we go along. It says Mark jumped 406.2 centimeters in long jump, while Abby jumped 261.5 centimeters. How much further did Mark jump? Now we want to know the difference between Mark's jump and Abby's jump, and when we're looking for difference, we are subtracting. So I'm going to say 406 minus 0.2 minus 261.5. An estimate, well, 406 is pretty close to just 400, and 261, it's closer to 300 than it is to 200. So let's go 400 minus 200, or sorry, 400 minus 300. So the difference is going to be about 100 centimeters. It's actually going to be more like about 140 or so will probably be our final answer, our exact answer. So now let's stack these to 406.2 minus 261.5. I know that 2 minus 5 I can't do without borrowing, so I'm going to make this a 5 in the ones place. I'm going to take that 1 from the tens, or from the ones place, and put it in the tenths place. And so now I have 12 minus 5, 12 tenths minus 5 tenths, which is 7 tenths. Now I have 5 minus 1, which is 4. 0 minus 6 I can't do without borrowing, so this can become a 3, and I'll take that 100 and I'll put it over to the tens place. So now I have 10 tens, right? That's where that 100 went to. 10 minus 6 is 4, and 300 minus 200 is 100. So 144.7. I said it would be around 100. It's a little bit more, but we knew that. So Mark jumped 144.7 centimeters further than Abby. Two more questions. It says Greg won the 800-meter race with a time of 126.6 seconds. Kenneth finished second with a time of 142.9 seconds. How much time did Greg win by? Once again, we're looking for a difference here, so that's a subtraction thing. Now I have 142.9 minus 126.6. I'm just going to knock off the 2.9 and let's round this to 130. So 140 minus 130, that's 10 seconds, right? 140 minus 130. So I know their difference is going to be somewhere around 10 seconds. Let's find the exact answer. So 142.9 subtracting 126.6. So starting with the tenths place, 9 minus 6 is 3. 2 minus 6 in the ones place, we need to borrow. So let's take 1 from the tens, put it over to the ones place. So I'm moving that 10 over there. So now it's 2 and 10, which makes 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. Then 3 tens minus 2 tens, 30 minus 20 is 10. And 100 minus 100 is 0. So the difference is 16.3 seconds, which kind of makes sense to me there because I did round this one down and this one up. So that makes sense for my 6 seconds difference between the estimate and the exact, right? So Greg won by 16.3 seconds. Last question. Aaron's high jump record at the track meet was 1,496.5 millimeters. Harley's high jump record was 1,734.8 millimeters. How much were their two record jumps all together? So when we're talking about all together, we're talking about putting them together, that's adding. So we want to go 1,734.8 plus 1,496.5. Let's round 1,734. That's pretty close to 2,000. Let's just round it off to 2,000. And then 1,496.5, that's almost exactly 1,500. It's within 4 millimeters of it. So let's just go 2,000 plus 1,500, which would be 3,500. So I think the exact answer is going to be somewhere around 3,500. It'll be a little below because I rounded this one up. All right, so let's get the exact answer. So we have 1,734.8 plus 1,496.5. By the way, I could have switched these. In adding, we can go either way, right? The commutative property. Let's get our exact answer here by starting with the tenths. So 8 plus 5 is 13. I'm going to carry the 1 over to the ones place. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. So I'm going to put the 1 here and carry that 10 over to the tens place. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. So I'm going to carry this 1 over to the hundreds place, because that's 13 tens, right? 130. So that 100 just belongs in the hundreds. 100 plus 700 is 800 plus 400 is, that's 1,200, 1,200. So let's put that 1,000 over where it belongs with. And that's 1,000 plus 2,000 plus, 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000 makes 3,000. So I said my answer would be about 3,500, 3,231.3. That's not too bad. So their jumps were 3,231.3 altogether. All right, guys. Check your answers against what I have here. Thank you very much.